You will never feel ready. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Not when you have more money, more time, or more confidence. The truth is, your brain is designed to keep you exactly where you are. And the moment you understand why, everything changes. Here's what nobody tells you about readiness. It's not real. It's a story your mind creates to protect you from the unknown. Your brain has one job: survival. And survival doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about predictability. Think about it. Right now, you might hate your job. You might feel stuck. You might be living a life that doesn't excite you, but your brain doesn't see that as a problem because you are alive. You are safe. You are familiar with the pain. And familiar pain feels safer than unknown possibility. This is called the comfort zone. But here's the twist. It's not actually comfortable. It's just known. You can be miserable and still be in your comfort zone. Because misery, when it's predictable, feels less threatening than change. Psychologists call this loss aversion. Your brain weighs potential losses twice as heavily as potential gains. So when you think about changing careers, starting a business, or walking away from something that no longer serves you, your mind immediately floods with worst-case scenarios. Not because they are likely, but because fear is your brain's way of saying, stay where I can predict the outcome. But there's something even deeper happening. You are not just afraid of change. You are afraid of becoming someone you don't recognize. Let me tell you about a man named David. For 15 years, he worked in corporate finance. He hated it. Every Sunday night, he felt that pit in his stomach. But he stayed, not because of the money, not because of fear, because somewhere along the way, he became the finance guy. His family knew him that way. His friends introduced him that way. His own reflection in the mirror expected that version of himself. One day, David told his wife he wanted to quit and become a woodworker. She supported him, but he still didn't do it. Because the real battle wasn't external. It was internal. He had built his entire identity around being responsible, stable, and predictable. Changing careers felt like killing that version of himself. And we don't let go of identities easily, even when they are making us miserable. This is the identity lock. You have told yourself a story about who you are for so long that changing feels like betrayal. I'm not the type of person who takes risks. I'm not creative. I'm not built for that. These aren't truths. They are just sentences you have repeated until they hardened into walls. And here's the cruel part. Every day you wait to feel ready, you are reinforcing that old identity. You are proving to yourself that you are right all along, that you are not the kind of person who changes. Now let's talk about someone who broke through this. Sara, the founder of Spanx. Before she built a billion-dollar company, she was selling fax machines door to door. She had an idea for footless pantyhose. No experience in fashion, no business degree, no connections, and definitely no feeling of being ready. But here's what she understood that most people don't. She didn't wait to feel ready. She made a different choice. She decided that discomfort was part of the process, not a sign to stop. When fear showed up, she didn't interpret it as "I'm not ready." She interpreted it as "I'm growing." For 2 years, she heard no from manufacturers, from investors, from people who told her the idea wouldn't work. But she had made a decision before the decision. She decided that her willingness to try mattered more than her feeling of readiness. And that single shift in psychology changed everything. Most people are waiting for confidence to show up before they take action. But confidence doesn't work that way. Confidence is the result of action, not the prerequisite. You don't feel ready, then move. You move, then feel ready. That's the sequence. And most people have it backwards. Sara didn't wake up one day feeling like a CEO. She became one by making decisions that a CEO would make. Even when she felt like a fax machine, salesperson pretending. And slowly the identity caught up with the actions. This is the pattern of every person who has ever done something meaningful. They didn't wait for permission from their feelings. They gave themselves permission despite their feelings. So here's the truth that will either set you free or terrify you. You are always choosing. Right now, in this moment, you are making a choice to stay or to move, to remain the person you have always been or to become the person you are capable of being. And the feeling of not being ready, that's not a stop sign. It's a compass. It's pointing you directly toward the thing that matters most. The people you admire, the ones who built something, who changed their lives, who stepped into a bigger version of themselves, they all had one thing in common. They felt the same fear you feel, the same doubt, the same voice saying, not yet, not you, not now. But they moved anyway. Not because the fear went away, but because they stopped waiting for it to. Your readiness is not coming. It's not on its way. It's not going to arrive when you have more savings, more time, or more clarity. Because readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. And the moment you stop looking for it and start creating it, everything shifts. So what now? You go back to your life, and you will have a choice. You can wait to feel ready. You can keep telling yourself that someday when the conditions are perfect, you will make your move. Or you can accept that the only difference between you and the person living the life you want is that they stop negotiating with fear. Change doesn't require you to feel ready. It requires you to decide that growth matters more than comfort, that becoming matters more than remaining, that the person you are meant to be is worth the discomfort of leaving behind the person you have been. You don't need permission. You don't need a sign. You just need to take the first step, and then the next one. Not because you feel ready, but because you have decided that waiting is no longer an option. The life you want is on the other side of the decision you have been avoiding, and it's been waiting for you this whole time.